Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
What's up?
My goodness. Hello, people.
Hello. How's it going?
What is up, gamer?
Oh, my gosh. So good to see you all again. Welcome to another exciting episode of Dumpster Delvers. We had a raid come in from Kelly Siren. You've never met Kelly before, have you, Ground?
I don't believe I have, no.
No, Kelly's a swell individual. I've had the pleasure of DMing for her at a couple of years ago, and hopefully I'll be given the chance again. So great people, good people, highly recommend. Kelly, thank you so much once again for the raid. I really do appreciate that.
Which of your games were they in?
They were in March on Fandelver. Not Fandelver, Fey Wonder. March on Fey Wonder. I was like, I was saying Fandelver. I went, oh no,
You
that's
miss it. You miss Fandelver.
I do, but it's dead, and that's the end of that. Yeah,
my soul.
Same, but it is what it is. I ultimately decided against it. But
that's what happens when schedules change.
Exactly. That's pretty much.
That's literally something we cannot control. Which I would love to control time and be like, my friends are available always.
Yep.
That is not the case.
Exactly it. Well, for me as well, like I people will kind of give me a little bit of a hard time because they're like, but I missed this game, and I have to be like, yeah, it's done. No more.
Brother, I also missed that game.
Yeah.
I cannot control that.
Yeah, I have no way.
I can't control people's schedules.
Yeah, I have no way of controlling that. So, but sometimes people, I feel like chat people will be like, oh, but what if? And it's like, no. Or like if we're doing something new or different or whatever, it'll be like it'll be like, so does that mean this game will return? And I'm like, guys,
no, that is not what that means.
You're gonna have to. I know, and it is. It's like, I don't like hurting you. Why are you making me hurt
Please.
you? Why are you making me hurt you every time? You're like, but what if I cope a little harder? And I have to be like, it's been years. Please don't let me hurt you.
When will you learn?
When will you fucking learn?
One day.
So I just ignore it. Ground, how was your week? How did you stream it all this week? This is I'm immediately starting on Crown.
All right.
Harassing.
Fuck my life, man. Did you stream this week? Huh? Did you stream this week?
I did.
What'd you stream?
I streamed twice this week. We did. We did the Devil's Due announcement. We also did. What else did we do? We did Devil's Due announcement. We also did the what do you call it? We also did Ride with the Frost Maiden.
Did I stream this week? Hold on.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think you streamed.
I think I did. I think I streamed Monday. I will be streaming. Oh yeah, I did. I streamed Monday. I will be streaming Saturday and Sunday though.
Oh.
So yeah, we're gonna be doing some big stuff for our Pathfinder game.
Oh damn! When is that gonna be starting?
Well, I'm finishing up the first mega dungeon that they'll be doing. So that's been my biggest thing. I got hit with like a mental block for like a month where I was like, oh, my maps aren't good. My writing's bad. Oh, I'm shit at this game. Oh, that was literally just it, like a fucking pity party nonstop. And then I eventually locked the fuck in. And I started making the mega dungeon, and I got inspired by like other games. Like a game I want to play with you is called Barony. I don't know if you like old school.
I've heard of it. I've heard of it. Yeah, I also hear it's
very good,
mercilessly unfair. Have you gotten past it yet?
Oh yeah. So we got the farthest I've ever gotten is to the final bosses, and we died on the final bosses, and that was like a 4-hour trek through the entire game getting up to that point, and it was devastating when we lost. It was like fuck. So I think that'd be a great game to play with you.
Yeah, that'd be. God, I would love time to play games. That would be great. One of these days.
This guy.
I don't know what to say, man. I'm working. I'm busy.
This guy.
I'm so fucking busy, man.
I'm so busy.
Oh,
so busy.
You know what I'm working on.
So busy.
You know what I'm working on. Everything.
5 games. A book. So busy.
Yeah. Jeez.
Just tell me you hate me. It's all right. Just tell me you hate me.
just live on the podcast that we do.
Yeah, man. Just announce to everybody that you hate me. It's all right.
You figured it out. You finally figured out my master plan. But yes, we what was I about to say? We are, as always, sponsored by our lovely folks at the Patreon. Thank you to everyone who
lovely Patreon people.
It continuously joined our Patreon. Thank you guys so much for doing that. If you join our Patreon, you get access to MP3s of all of our podcasts. You also get access to, on later tiers, our Inside the Dumpster, which is sort of our post-recorded show that we do every week as well, that we don't stream. And now we're doing video episodes of Into the Dumpster. So,
what?
Yeah, which is a further tier above
my
that.
Face on the camera?
Yeah,
what?
Yeah. You get to see how beautiful the Crown DM is with his
I'm very beautiful.
Luxurious beard and mustache. It looks really good. He's a swell individual. Absolutely. Also, we did recently last week get our YouTube channel over to, we became YouTube partners. Finally, thank you so much for all of your support. We're over the 1,000 sub threshold. And we've been doing little super chat little what do you call it? Oh my god, my brain's freaking dying. We've been doing super chat goals. So we're doing another super chat goal where I have an unhinged chatter story from my career, like when I was first started streaming. That see this day I'm still like, God, that is so freaking unhinged.
Really?
That they did that. Yeah, and I'm more than happy to share it. Our super chat goal currently is 10 super chats. $5 or greater will go towards the goal, and once we knock out that goal, I will tell you an unhinged chat story.
That's kind of fucking sick nasty.
It's gonna be very sick nasty. But first, before we get too far into it, you know, we were saying during the Into the Dumpster episode, I was like, man, maybe things will calm down so we don't have to do a dumpster fire segment this week. And then literally today, 2 things came up that I was like, yep, time to light that dumpster on fire and talk about it, because
what happened?
Well, I mean, okay, so for those that don't know, the dumpster fire segment is where we talk about current events that mainly affect those that are currently in the US, but also what may affect our TTRPG audience. One of the big things we were talking about is the tariff situation that we've got currently going on with China. 145% tariff. I don't know what you guys think a tariff is, but essentially what that means is if I get something made in China and it ends up costing me $10,000, currently with the tariffs in place, to export it out of China to import it into the States, I have to pay 140% tariff. What that means is after paying $10,000 for manufacturing, I'm also paying $14,000 in duties to get it into the country. Not great. Not good.
Jesus.
Especially for individuals who have already, like a lot of game board companies earlier this year started getting their game boards manufactured, and then these tariffs suddenly dropped, and now they have to pay an insane amount of. Essentially,
they're raked over the coals.
There's been several instances where people are like, we're just going to keep it at a warehouse for now, and hopefully these tariffs will change because Jesus Christ, I can't afford getting it out of the country. You know what I mean? To actually ship to people, which is absolutely very much not great. So, but it looks like we may be getting a little bit of relief. Obviously, nothing official has been said yet, and you know, especially with the source, It could very well happen. It could very well not happen. I know this weekend there will be a trade talk between the States and China and Switzerland, I believe. So we're starting talks. Fingers crossed. I don't think anything's going to change over this weekend, but that's a positive. But the news that I wanted to give today is this: Trump says 80% tariff on China seems right ahead of the U.S. Beijing trade talks. So he's just like, yeah, we could probably go down to like 80%, which would be, it's still bad. It is, let me just be clear. That is still bad, but it is better than 145%. Yeah, President Donald Trump proposed reducing tariffs on Chinese imports from 145% down to 80% prior to the scheduled meeting between senior U.S. and China trade representative in Geneva over the weekend. Sorry, I thought it was Switzerland. The talks come after several months of rising tariffs that began when Trump introduced the so-called Liberation Day duties in early April, prompting China to impose its own retaliatory tariffs. And by the way, the tariffs that China is imposing has nothing to do with us. We don't pay all that shit. So, yeah. Scott Bessent, head of the U.S. Treasury and Trade Representative, Jamieson Greer are scheduled to hold high-level discussions with Chinese Vice Premier. I'm going to butcher this. He Lifeng, marking the first senior meeting since the start of the trade conflict. Trump said on social media that the 80% tariff on China seems right, while acknowledging that the current 145% rate is unsustainable and effectively an embargo on trade, which it currently is. There's been plenty of stories breaking where we just have the imports are just severely down. Like the ports are practically empty, which is going to... Now, again, we haven't been affected by this because we still have goods on our shelves that was pre-tariffs. So once we get empty shelves and it actually affects people, that might change some
Wait
things.
a minute.
Yeah. What do you mean? He also keeps going on about this like doll analogy where he keeps saying shit like, well, maybe they won't get $30. Maybe they'll get $2 or $3. The point where even his own party's like, can you please stop talking about dolls? It makes no fucking sense, dude. It doesn't help us out at all.
What point are you trying to make? I'm really trying to understand.
It's just talking to your rambling grandpa, who's also really racist and seems to...
Grandpa, no.
Yeah, and also, just kind of like has a gun at all times that he's holding, and you're just like, hey. Oh, hey, wait a minute.
Have you seen that? What's his name? What's the comedian?
I think I know you're talking about.
Have you seen the Shane Gillis?
Yep. I know exactly what you're talking about. Where it's a sketch where he's like sleepwalking, and he
walks out with his gun.
Yeah. And he points it to himself, and they're just like, whoa. And he just stands there for a minute, and then he points at everyone's like, ah! Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So funny.
It's so great. It very much was a very big comparison with exactly what's happening here. So, yeah. The proposed tariff cut aims to de-escalate tensions, but would still keep import duties high, possibly causing supply chain challenges amid calls for China to open its markets. Yeah, everyone's just struggling with this right now. So I'm hoping it won't be forever. It won't be forever, and I know that's a lot of copium coming from me. But as a game developer, as a physical TTRPG developer, it's a problem. Unfortunately, we're not manufacturing anything yet. We're still working on all our products, and I'm hoping things will de-escalate when things go down. I believe books are tariff exempt, which is good because that's the most expensive thing I make. Yeah. I believe
tariff exempt. Huh?
I believe they are, but also like game books kind of are in like a weird sort of thing because there's a lot of like game companies that'll do media mailers with their books, which makes it really cheap to ship just because of how heavy books are. So we do have the media mailer for school books and stuff like that. So people have done that before. I haven't done that personally. We still box everything up just because, knowing my luck, if we did the media mailer on our game books, that would be the time the post office is like, no.
What does media mailer mean?
So a media mailer is a specialized envelope I don't have the information completely in front of me, so I'm going off of just knowledge
Okay.
in my head. So there might be some misinformation here. I do apologize if there is. A media mailer is a specialized mailer specifically for mailing media. I believe like CDs, DVDs, tapes, but the big thing is books. And the reason why the books, you know what I mean, is that books are heavy. So normal things that you ship and mail are mailed out by the pound, which means books are very expensive to mail. So books as like educational sources, dictionaries, like books for school, things like that becomes a very expensive ordeal when you're shipping back and forth. So we have a media mailer that has a specialized cost of postage, specifically so that we can ship books cheaper because of how heavy they are. They don't really follow, they follow a different metric of shipping rates.
Okay.
So does that make sense? Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
So when you're shipping things, it's usually by the pound and how big the package is. Media mailers are thin packaging, or thinner packaging rather, and is specifically on a different metric because they are books. And books in itself are just heavy things. Yeah. So it mainly is. So it's mainly used so that book shipping is cheaper. The issue though is with game books. I believe was not the intent of the media mailer system. You know what I mean? It wasn't meant.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't do it, but I need more information and more research before we actually do media mailers. Also, I don't like to use media mailers because unlike boxes, there really isn't a lot of protection. You get, again, it's a thin envelope, which means you risk your book bending. You know what I mean? You risk your books bending and all that stuff. So it is it's a little rough. It's a little, so I like the boxes and all that, and we pay a little extra for shipping. And if you're with the right shipping company, you can still ship very affordably or eat the cost. It's a whole thing when you get into when you form a TTRPG company that makes books. You learn a lot. You kind
of got to learn all of it.
Yeah, you do. Oh my god, I'm constantly learning. I'm constantly learning and looking at shit like sales taxes, like we've talked about before. I'm just like, holy fuck, whoa. Where we talked about where like, hey, if your business of origin is in a state, you have to pay sales taxes. But if you've made a certain amount of money in shipping to another state, you also have to pay sales taxes on that state as well, or charge sales tax. It's a whole thing. It's all very confusing, and you're just trying to do your gosh darn best so that you're not, committing tax fraud, essentially.
But what if?
So yeah, no changes in the tariff so far. Since we do have primarily TTRPG people here, it is something that we do like to keep an eye on. And then unfortunately do have another topic for the dumpster fire, which this happened fairly recently, which was extremely alarming. The Trump administration currently is looking at suspending habeas corpus, Stephen Miller says. Do you know what habeas corpus is, Crowned?
Why does that sound familiar?
Yeah, it does sound familiar, right?
Habeas corpus.
I'm going to tell you if you don't know. Habeas corpus is a legal process, literally meaning you shall have the body. It's used to challenge the legality of someone's detention. It allows individuals to seek a court order to have their custodian produce them before a judge to determine if their detention is lawful. Essentially, it's a safeguard against unlawful imprisonment. And our country is talking about suspending that specifically for immigration.
Jesus.
Yeah. So on May 9th, 2025, Stephen Miller, a senior White House policy advisor, announced that the Trump administration is seriously exploring the possibility of suspending habeas corpus as a response to immigration challenges. In March, the administration utilized the 1798 Alien Enemies Act, which, by the way, anyone that's using an act from the fucking 1700s, like, is just abusing that act. Yeah. To deport over 230 individuals from El Salvador without providing due process in response to claims of an undocumented immigrant invasion, quote unquote. Miller argued the courts are blocking deportations and challenged the judiciary jurisdiction, citing Congress's or stripping of Article 3 courts' power over immigration cases in recent Supreme Court rulings requiring habeas corpus challenges before deportation. He cited the Constitution emphasizing that habeas corpus protections may be temporarily halted during instances of invasion or rebellion. Their argument is that that we are currently being invaded by illegal immigrants. Yeah, it's the same excuse they did to put us in a state of emergency. It's the same excuse they used for why we have these crazy tariffs in place. It's just it's bad. It's bad. It's fucking bad out there. Emphasizing that habeas corpus protections, may be temporarily halted during instances of evasion or rebellion, a measure historically implemented only during significant events like the Civil War. The administration's potential suspension of habeas corpus implies an escalation in immigration enforcement department on judicial response, with significant legal challenges currently pending against the government's deportation policies. Now, for me, I can see a lot of people looking at this and just kind of being like, oh, well, this doesn't affect me. I'm not an illegal immigrant. It's like, this does affect you. This essentially is giving them the ability to arrest without due process to anyone.
Correct.
You know, and like that's something that you're going to want to avoid, right? That's something that you're not going to want to be a part of.
Putting it under the guise of invasion is
it's bad.
Crazy.
It's awful, right? It's absolutely freaking terrible. So it's not this shit affects you. You know, this shit affects everyone. Just
correct.
You know, yeah, sure, you're not the target now, but like, you know, just look around you. You know, you've got protests, like they're trying to curb like college protests.
Correct. I saw that as well.
Yeah. And so for me personally, like this is just something to like please like to our lovely audience, to our litterbugs / audience name pending.
I think they kind of fucked with litterbugs.
I fuck with it. I think you just got to make it an executive decision. Just be careful out there. This is why we do our dumpster fire segments, is sort of kind of get you guys aware of what's going around you, especially if you're in the States. And just be careful, man. Just be careful.
Because I can tell you right now, there's a lot of times where I just scroll through whatever gibberish I see on my Twitter, but
yeah,
it is good to know.
It absolutely is. And it's very easy to become numb to this as well. I just be like, well, that's the way it is. And it's just like, well, just keep yourself informed. Make sure your defenses are there, and just look out for each other, and good luck out there. You know what I mean?
Correct.
Good luck out there. Because we are in a weird time, and I very much would love to see it be a little bit better out there. You know?
Same.
Absolutely.
That sounds great.
Yeah. So, well, we did it. We're out.
My goodness.
We're out of
just
the
like
dumps.
That?
Just like that.
Just like that, we're out.
Oh, well, like I said, like I definitely was like today. I was like, you know what? Nothing's really happening right now. That'll be great. That'll be fucking wonderful. You know, if we can
nice little snippet, nice little poke into the world beyond.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, maybe we won't have to do this segment today. And then yeah. So it's gonna be it's gonna be really good out there. Yeah. So now we're leaving that. We're going into some D&D news. We're going into some D&D news.
You did say D&D news, so I'm very interested in what
there's a lot of cool stuff that kind of like came out here. Well, I mean, I guess it depends on you if you're literally someone that plays D&D. Like, you know, I know you're kind of severed away over there and that. So yeah. Give me one quick second while I take a look at that.
There was somebody asking me like my opinion on like certain D&D rulings, and I was like, I don't agree with them. And they're like, oh, what, really? I was like, yeah, it was great. I don't have to deal with them anymore.
Well, yeah, tell me a little bit about that. Tell me a little bit about that.
I am a staunch opposer to the idea of multi-classing.
Yes. You have
I
discussed
think-
this.
Correct. I think it's a half-baked system that WotC put in and didn't do a very good job of even implementing it. I also greatly dislike the, you know what? Like, I'll preface this. If your YouTube career is telling people how to make some crazy fucking multi-class thing and how you can piss your DM off, awesome, man.
Mhm.
Get your bag. I hate that content. I hate the Reddit post that's like how to do 400 damage with a 6-part multi-class. I think that's cringe as fuck. But you know what? If that's how you get your money, brother, get your money.
Yeah.
Don't let me stop you. I just don't allow multi-classing in my 5th edition games.
Yeah.
And it was something we were talking about, and people were like, I think it's great because it gives you character options and so on and so forth. I was like, yeah, man. Or I can just give you abilities for the class that you're specifically trying to make. So you have a custom, unique class that's not some watered down dog water that you think is going to be really cool. But guess what? You have to suffer through the first, I don't know, 8 levels of the game.
It is.
While the rest of your friends are having a great time.
It quite literally is just that, like just that meta, like, oh, check all these things that I'm doing all this stuff. You know, I got it from a post, and when you're doing like these crazy, silly combos, I don't know, man. Like on one end, I'm like, play the character the way you want to play, but on the other end, it's like, what do you feel like it kind of like definitely just deviates from the game itself?
Yes.
By just trying. It's like a
think
try hard way of doing that, right?
I think you're not even that. I think you're shooting yourself in the foot trying to multi-class. Because again, it's not a system WotC built. Like the game falls apart at level 12. You expect a fully functioning multi-class system?
Yeah.
Are you insane?
We don't even, we're not even balanced for the base system itself.
Correct.
Oh man.
Like if you're like, I really want to be a spell blade, but I don't want to be a blade singer, so I'm going to take fighter and I'm going to take paladin and hexblade and all this other stuff, brother. Don't pick a class, and I will give you the abilities that are custom, unique, made for you. Nobody else will have this ability that will give you that power fantasy you want without shooting yourself in the foot for 9 levels. Because guess what? The campaign ends at level 8, and you have a level 20 multi-class build in mind. We're not getting to level 20, brother.
Yeah, it's I would love to actually get to level 20 one of these days and try and figure out like how the heck we can, first see what's broken, and then second see how we can fix it.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's just trying to just figure that shit out, because right now everyone keeps saying, the game falls apart after level 12. And why is that? Do you think? Do you think is it wizards? Is it specifically like wizard spells, or where exactly does it fall apart? Have you played a high level game before?
Yes, I have played in a level 20 campaign.
Okay,
like a 1 to 20 campaign, and I can tell you, at like level 9, it stopped being like threatening. I had even as like, well, also my DM was a guy who let me transition from a fighter to a paladin.
Okay.
So there was eventually a point where like the sorcerer in the party was doing a shit ton of damage. They could just control the battlefield. Right. The rogue was doing a shit ton of damage on every attack. Like I remember sitting there at the end of a combat encounter asking my DM, how many hit points did that monster have? And he said it had like 4-digit hit points to stand up against. We were like 5 leveled like 12 characters. And he's like, I had to give it quad hit points for it to be able to stand a chance against you and not die in the first round of combat. So even the monsters aren't built for it.
I mean, I agree, because also I see, because I've been doing Dead Beast, Hell's Fallen, And a lot of the content they're doing right now is for lower levels than their current level. But even that, like, I'm seeing the same thing where it's just like, it's not that threatening. You gotta like scale up your damage, and I'm talking about even with phase combat, when you're dealing with creatures with double the hit points, dealing double the damage, it's still challenge. It's still very much a challenge. And that's, I know with IO5E, that's something we're gonna have to figure out. And I think ultimately what's gonna happen with IO5E is we're just gonna have to like break the CR system with creature levels. You know what I mean? Like and start to figure out, try and figure out that balance, because the math has never checked out in D&D. It never checked out. Well, that's what you guys are playing level 2 right now, and it's terrifying. But I mean, you're doing all right, I think.
The reason it's terrifying is because we have 3 party members sub 10 hit points.
Yeah.
That's why it's terrifying.
Yeah.
It's terrifying because Scrumbus gets hit once on minimum damage from a monster and goes unconscious. That's why it's terrifying.
Dude, I am excited and terrified for the next session of
Scrumbus is dead.
We don't know that. We don't know that.
We do know that. So here's how it's gonna work. Yeah, correct. You are correct. You want to know why? It's because Sal has not succeeded a single fucking medicine check.
Well.
Save anybody's life.
Well,
so far.
hold on. There are some things we're going to be introducing. So one of the things I wanted to do was healer kit usage. If you use a healer kit during a medicine check, it gives you a +5 bonus to the medicine check. But you're using
That's amazing.
You're using an item for that.
Well, that's great. Hey. Have you seen Sal's inventory?
Yeah.
It doesn't have a med kit.
No, it doesn't, but you guys are going to a town before
he has a day.
Yeah.
A day.
Whoa. Hold on. You guys are taking like the town routes now. So
he's dying.
No, the first town, you're going to get there within a few hours. So he does have a day. You will get to a town before that day wraps up, before you have to take a long rest and everything. And then we'll see. We'll see how the party is. You've given up on Scrumpus. You just have assumed
he has 2. Brother.
Yeah.
We could be attacked on the road.
Mm-hmm.
We could be attacked on the road.
That's true.
There could be more Peritons flying overhead. He has 2 hit points. If I even vaguely look in his direction,
which is what happened. Someone looked at him and then he got frostbite.
If I even look at him and he takes 4 points of damage, he's fucking gone.
That's correct.
Gone.
That's correct.
Minimum damage for my spear attack kills him outright.
That's
no saving throws. No final checks. No death saves. It's straight up death.
So yeah, we'll see what happens.
A guard goes, watch your tone, goblin, and fucking knocks his head off.
Sneezes on him. And he's like, ah! We'll see what happens. He isn't on time limit, though. He absolutely isn't on time limit. I think Tom also believes he's dead. So he asked me,
he would be smart. He would be smart.
Well, he asked me, like, can I, when we get to town, can I like buy like paper, quill, and ink to like write a will, essentially? And I'm like, yeah, man. Yeah, man. Well, it is. We'll see. We'll see what ends up happening. Do you think this was a fair outcome? Let me go and ask you that with the hardcore.
I'm surprised he's a fucking live.
Yeah.
I am surprised. Like, again, minimum damage for a roll. I am surprised he is alive.
So you assumed he was going to die a lot earlier than this.
Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So in my noggin, the moment you're like, it's big, it's hairy, it's got its own set of it's not a giant, but it's kind of giant. Like, I was like, oh, this is a fucking Yeti. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure Yetis either have like a boulder toss ability or they have like a petrify gaze thing that they do, like a basilisk. I was like, it just takes one person. It just takes one person to get hit by that and they cease to be a thing.
Yep.
Lo and fucking behold, I thought it was going to be me. It was Scrumbus.
Yeah, he threw fire. He threw fire.
I was like, oh, they're going for Scrump, but he's dead. Like, I didn't even look back at him when you went, all right, saving throw. I was like, here he goes. Even if he succeeds, he's gonna fucking die. I was straight up like I had already written the character off, and I was like, I wonder what Tom's gonna get next. I wonder what Tom's gonna get next. And then you're like,
are you gonna feel bad if Scrumpus survives the next session?
no, I won't.
No. Are you just going to treat him like a walking corpse?
Yeah, basically, I'm gonna be like, you're on a timer, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, God has shown you that you are not. You're
not
him.
worthy.
God has shown you where you are meant to be, and it's in the ground. So I just want you to know that
if he dies, it's frostbite. He'll die of frostbite.
Yeah, I'm fully expecting death. I'm fully expecting death.
We'll see what happens. There's still plenty of options at the table now, but you are correct. It all depends on the dice roll. No matter what happens, there's going to be a dice roll.
Yes.
No matter what.
Yes.
There will be no
either it's going to be him or it's going to be Sal, and I want you to know that the session shouldn't even start with a recount. It should start with Sal and or Scrumpus having to make their respective saves.
Oh, we're start with a recap. We're absolutely start with a recap. I want to hear how biased your recap's going to be. I want Scrumpus.
Oh, you talk about my biased attitude towards the dogs who are absolutely fucking dead outside, by the way.
Yeah. Like,
because guess what? That Yeti had to come up to us.
Yep.
He had to go through the dogs.
Yep.
Those CR 1/4 dogs are dead.
Yep.
He killed those dogs. Soaktech was correct. We should have kept them at the fucking camp.
Are you talking about no. So the way that the Yeti was coming up from the peak, not from the dogs. The dogs left. So yeah, this Yeti was coming from higher up on the peak.
Okay, fine. So, maybe they didn't die to the Yeti. But guess what? There are Peritons out there that can dive bomb. And the only reason Boy was okay is because Boy had 5 other adventurers with him.
That's
Those dogs have like fucking 10 hit points.
That's right.
8 they're dead.
That's right.
We're going to find their mangled corpses on the side of the road as we travel home.
They're like wolves. They're like 16 hit
They're
points
not
at
wolves.
least.
They're not wolves. They
have the same stat blocks as wolves.
Wolves stand a better chance.
Yeah,
these are sled dogs. These are sled dogs.
They have the same stat blocks as wolves, is what I'm telling you. You're like, not in my game. They're fucking dogs.
Deniers.
They're dogs. They're fucking dogs.
You are coping for the creatures that the party killed.
Oh no, I'm not.
I'm the only one who sees it. I see that we slaughtered those animals.
I'm not coping. It cracks me up. Whatever you're in like a hardcore game, you're like, hey guys, don't get attached to this character. You're gonna die. You're all gonna die vicious, horrible deaths.
Correct.
This is what you signed up for. Good luck. Godspeed.
I know that if we get back to that fucking town, and all of the dogs made it, you did it. You made that happen. That happen that all of the dogs survived.
If all
that is DM bias if I've ever seen it.
Okay. So you're telling me if all the dogs are waiting for you in Targos, where you have to target the quest, that would be DM bias. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. You're gonna tell me not a single one of them rolled on the wild encounter table, random encounter table, 5 or like 8 fucking juicy like tenders walking across the frozen wilderness. Don't get picked up by some saber tooth.
You have missing information, is what I'll say.
Missing information.
You have missing information. Yes.
My information is that they should be dead.
There better be dead dogs next session, or I'm out. They better be dead.
My suspension of disbelief is being tested right now, is what I'm saying.
We'll see. But you have missing information, is what I'll say. You'll have missing information, and I think you'll see it Wednesday. You'll see it Wednesday. You'll see it Wednesday. But you are correct. There is there very well may be a death next Wednesday.
It's gonna be Scrumpus.
It's gonna be Scrumpy. Yeah, man. Oh, Jesus Christ, dude. You need oh my God. So even with the med kit and Sal's abysmal medicine check,
he's constantly on a timer.
Yeah. No.
If he fails one day,
He's dead.
yeah. If he
But
fails
if he
one
succeeds, the festering wound goes away because he'll be at max health.
day, okay. So this is literally
you have
one fucking chance.
Yep. And that is because of Scrumbus's hit points. Scrumbus is a 5 hit point character. So
I am aware.
So
aware.
Because of that, okay, let me explain what happened. How many hit points does Night Render have?
He has 20.
Okay, he has 20 hit points. If you got a festering wound, your hit points drop to half, so you're down to 10 hit points. You then every 24 hours lose if no treatment is done to you, you lose 2 hit points. You lose as many hit points as your level, and you're level 2. So you lose 2 hit points, which means if no treatment is done to you, you're dead in 5 days. Meanwhile, a successful medical treatment regains double the level's hit points. So you would regain 4 hit points, which means after 2 or 3 treatments, the festering wound goes away once your maximum hit points are back. The problem with Scrumbus, and not something I considered, but I'm still keeping to, is Scrumbus has 5 hit points as a level 2 character.
Yes.
As a level 2 character.
Correct.
Which means
he's fucking dead.
Which means he immediately dropped down half of his hit points, and you round down D&D, which means he went down to 2 hit points. As a level 2 character, the next 24 hours, he loses his level and maximum hit points, which is 2, dropping it to 0, killing him. His constitution is so weak that a festering wound will murder this man.
Yes.
It is a death sentence.
That is what I'm saying. That is what I'm saying. He's gonna die.
But what I'm saying is, he's got 24 hours to turn around, baby. He's got 24 hours to turn around. We'll see what happens. Woo! 24 hours, baby.
Also, your camera stopped working.
I know it died. It's I'm on the shitty computer. Next week, my real computer comes back, and then you will not have to deal with webcam randomly dying on stream. So, which means we'll probably do it into the dumpster on a different day, because right now what's killing my computer is Chrome.
Brother, whose isn't dying?
Yeah, I've got 20 different articles open, and so but the RAM on this old machine is going beep,
kill me,
beep. So yeah,
I must die.
Yeah, so once your maximum hit points drops to 0, you're dead. That's it. It's done. No death saving throws, no nothing, because your maximum HP is 0. You cease to be a living character.
Correct.
And so one of the options is to level up, but you got to get all the way back to Targos. And
I was going to ask how the level up works. We have to get to a safe town, right?
No, you haven't finished the quest. You're escorting the husband back to Targos.
Oh my God, I'm going to kill this fucking guy.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to get back to Targos with husband in tow to earn quest completion. Then and only then will you earn the level up, which means you've got a whole day's worth of travel, which is why, yes, there is a chance Scrumbus may die.
Scrumbus is fucking dying.
We'll see. We'll see what happens.
He's dead.
We'll see what the fuck happens. But either way, it's gonna be a good session. Your bet is on Scrumbus. Scrumbus is gonna die.
Oh yeah, Scrumbus is fucking dead.
What if Scrumbus doesn't die? Luck.
Color me surprised.
Yeah. Luck.
Color me surprised.
Not even favoritism. Just fucking luck at that point.
Just luck. Cool, man. That's super crazy. God is. You better count your days, is what I'm saying. Well, God can only be so merciful.
Well, I mean, hey, we're gonna see what happens. We're gonna see where the dice rolls, man. We're gonna see where the dice rolls. I've got no way to stop it. Festering wounds could also be removed with lesser restoration. The only issue with that is
who the fuck can cast it?
That's right, no one.
In case you're unaware, chat, Poppy and I are the only people with healing.
But at level
Poppy
3,
can't take lesser restoration. She's a half caster.
Yeah.
I'm a half caster.
Yep.
It's going to be 9 fucking years before we get second level spell slots.
That's right, sir. That's right. Fuck yeah, man. It's gonna be great.
Dead.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens. The beauty.
There's nothing to see aside from a fucking funeral. That's what you're gonna see is a funeral.
Maybe. It is gonna be okay. Here's the fucked up part about that scene. Okay. Here's the most fucked up part about that scene. Once the medicine check is rolled, right?
That's it.
That's it. The outcome is determined at that point.
Correct.
If the medicine check fails, Scrumbus is on borrowed time.
Yes.
Which means you are currently in the party.
We're traveling with a dead man.
Yeah, with a dead man walking. How fucked is that?
It's
I don't know.
Super fucked.
I don't know a time in like any D&D game where you are with a party member and they're like, I'm going to die in 8 hours. And there's nothing I can do about it.
Nothing anybody can do. Like through no fault of their own. Just dead.
Just dead. Just fucking
just straight
dead.
Up dead.
Just fucking dead. I love, and then like anyone who's just right now, just like, but what about resurrection spells? Level 2.
What?
Where?
Who is going to cast it? Who is going to cast it? Please point out the cleric in our party.
Yeah.
I would love to see the part because I can tell you, it could have maybe been Soaktek, but Soaktek decided he didn't want to be the healing warlock, and decided instead he wanted to be the undying warlock.
Hey, he kept to his character.
He made his choice.
Yeah, his character would not
die because of it.
Yeah,
and his character may die because of his fucking sucking chest wound.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll fucking see. You know, we'll see what we'll see what the hell happens.
We will see.
We will see. But it's either going to be great relief because Scrumbus is okay with a successful medicine check, or
why are you coping more than the players?
Okay, hold on. I'm giving you the outcomes. He's either gonna survive it because did the medicine check did well, or he's going to fail the medicine check. Mm-hmm. And his fate will be decided at that point, where he's dead. He's going to die. Mm-hmm. After a certain, he's going to expire.
Correct.
What's the role play going to be like that? With that,
I have to eat him.
You're gonna eat.
I have to eat him to preserve his memory.
Is that what you've always planned for if people died around you? It's just you're going to consume everything.
Correct. So I don't know how you're going to rule it, but in their culture, in lizard folk culture, it is actually like it's a religious thing to eat people.
Right.
So like it will be like,
I mean, the body's going to be God.
Scrumbus has proven themselves. Oh, I mean, he doesn't have family here, right? So like,
yeah.
You're the greatest honor I can give you is eating you and adding you to my memories.
So
like,
so now anytime, right? Anytime you have access to like revive it or whatever, it's gonna have to be a higher level spell because the body's gone. Body's completely gonna be gone.
Look, I mean, first off, there's no fucking way in any way, shape, or form are we ever going to get access to shit like resurrection.
Correct.
Which is like a 7th level spell.
Correct.
Nobody can cast it in our fucking party unless Scrumbus somehow died and became a cleric.
Correct.
Which I think it'd be a kind of a social faux pas to bring back your own character.
You can't.
So yeah, man. He's dead. He's like super dead. There's no bringing him back.
Well, that depends if you guys can. I don't even know if you guys can afford a healer kit.
We probably can. I think healer kits are, unless you change the price. I'm pretty sure healer kits are like 10 gold.
10 or 20 gold. Yeah.
Yeah, but the big thing is availability, which is why I'm like, who the fuck has a healer's kit?
No,
like,
that depends on what town you go to next. And I haven't I haven't checked. I haven't checked it because you might be in like a fucking Buddhist town.
Correct.
You might be going
We
to
end up in
town.
Bremen again, and we go, oh, there's nothing here. We
That's
took
true.
all the money this town had. They
That's
had
true.
$5.
Because
we took all $5.
I don't know what town's closest to Kelvin's Cairn. So, like, yeah, I don't know. You would have to go to a town that actually has it. I haven't checked yet. I'm not going to check till Wednesday. I'm literally not going to check till Wednesday.
He's dead.
He might be
dead.
He might be dead. If you manage to get to a town, and if that town is selling a healer kit, and if you purchase that healer's kit, and Sal goes in and does a use of the healer kit, Sal has a +2 to his check. The healer kit usage will give him a +5 bonus. So his total bonus will be a +7. The DC
has
15.
to be as a 15.
Yeah, 8 or higher. So it's still a low chance. It's still, I will give you that. It's like it's almost like 60-65% chance that he will survive next.
It's greater than 50.
If yeah, it is better than 50. It's better than 50. But
I don't know, man. I think Tom should come in ready to role play the death of his character.
I think he's getting
and get ready for the new short that's going to come out where we roll his new character.
That's
I think that's what he needs to get ready for.
I don't think I've ever had an experience where a player knew they were going to die. Where they were like,
it's actually kind of harrowing.
Yeah.
But like, you know, what can you really do?
Yeah. That's so interesting. That's so fucking interesting to me.
I agree.
Yeah. That we're going to go and there's going to be a chance. A good chance according to crowd, and I'm willing to also acknowledge that that he's gonna go, oh, well, I guess I'm dead. Oh, scrap. I am coping. Sal still has an inspiration die. D6. That could also help.
And what again?
Yeah. Again, assuming if everything lines up.
You know how hot we were rolling last session?
Oh, God, you guys are fucked this session.
Dude.
You're fucked.
This session coming up is about to be the most brutal. It's going to be nothing but L's. It's going to be nothing but... I think I rolled like 2 nat 20s back to back.
Let me actually jump ahead on this, because this was actually a viewer topic. From Mudkip2258 over on our Patreon Discord. The Dumpster Delvers Discord. You also, if you're a member of our Patreon, get to join the Dumpster Delver Discord. So, yeah, and then get to ask viewer topics like this. Do you have any TTRPG superstitions, like cursed dice, called crits never succeed or fail, etc.?
Yeah. Mine is the one that my players loathe, where I tell them the DC or the thing that they, like, if I go, all right, you have all of these bonuses, blah, 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 blah. The only way this guy can hit you is with a natural 20. And then I roll a nat 20. My players fear when I say that. Like, they go, why did you say it? Because I roll whatever I say I need, much to the chagrin of my players.
Well, and I think also, same with what we were just talking about. If you have a hot session, balance. Which means the universe
requires balance.
The next session is going to roll not so hot.
Correct.
That's I also do believe in that.
I hope you're ready for Doom.
I also do what is it, the dice float test, where if a dice floats a certain way, it's bad dice. I think there's some science behind that. I don't remember the exact outcome, unfortunately.
There's like a weight thing that is in it.
Like dice are made correctly.
If it's weighted a certain way.
Yeah.
You can tell how good a dice is based on how it floats and shit.
Oh yeah, and like depending on what number it floats up to, then that's what it'll most likely roll, I guess.
The other really big one is the whole idea of like if you start your, like, if you get a new dice and you roll it, and it's a certain number, or like a certain series of numbers that you roll, it tells you what type of dice it's gonna be. So like if you start out and it's like a nat 20 immediately, it's either like a trickster die, meaning it leads you in with this false hope. And then whenever you need it, it's nothing but like shit rolls whenever you need it. Or it's like this prodigy, but you have to keep rolling it to figure it out. I think Z Bashu's their name. They're like a TTRPG animator.
Yeah.
Is the one who was talking about that. I believe that.
Yeah.
I believe that type of stuff.
Yeah. Same. So yeah, there you go. That's ours is that. Thank you for the topic, Mudkip. So yeah,
Garbage is fucking dead.
You're gonna be well, now he's gonna be dead.
I've already mourned his passing.
Now he's gonna be dead.
I could say.
Now he's gonna be fucking dead. Well, I
hope it's a quick death.
I also, Tom. I think Tom also feels like Scrubbish is probably dead. It was like the scariest fucking injury he could have gotten. With the exception of the instant death one. So
yeah, I'd have loved to have seen how the decapitate would have worked with. I would imagine he'd just fucking
his head
turned
explodes.
into a popsicle.
Yeah, his head explodes.
That'd have been kind of gnarly, actually.
And everyone's like, "It's Jesus fucking God!"
Oh my God! Yeah, that's a fucking like a boys moment where like they watch Homelander crush somebody's head in, and everybody goes,
damn.
"Oh my God!"
Yeah.
Like that's what that would have been.
How are you enjoying this hardcore game? I feel like this one's been our best one yet, personally.
I enjoyed it a lot. I was watching some Curse of Strahd stuff last night. I would say this is probably up there.
Yeah.
I'll need to see like one more. Like so far I've been having a great time. Like I was honest to God expecting another character sacrifice moment where like Nightrender hands over the child and the Yeti goes, "Okay," and then just twists my head backwards. That's what I was expecting.
No, you did exactly what the book says. You could bargain with the baby Yeti.
Really?
That's what the book says. And so
dude,
you're like,
if you had held off for like a turn, I'd have killed that child.
Yeah.
I want you to know that. If you had held off for a turn before the Yeti showed up, it was going to be some like evil fucking malicious energy coming out of Nightrender, dude. It was going to be like some actual nightmare fuel for the type.
If you bargain for the kid, he lets you go. That's what the book said.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So you're like, maybe we could bargain for the kid. I was like, oh my God, he's going for it. He's fucking going for
also
it.
Had the party like not agreed with me. Had the party been like, yeah, man, just fucking kill the kid or like throw them off the cliff, I'd have been like, okay. Softball pitch the child over the ledge
the
there.
Yeti fucking murders you right there.
Yeah. I get fucking disintegrated. Yeah. I was ready.
But yeah, I mean, so right now I think this has been one of my favorite hardcore games personally.
I mean, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It's a ton of fun.
It's been.
I like everybody's characters.
Yeah. I think I like this.
I like seeing the transformation of Soktech. That was very cool.
I'm liking the system because I feel like it's able to tell a different story that you normally wouldn't be able to tell. Does that make sense?
I agree.
I feel like in other D&D games, you really don't get the opportunity to carry a party member with a punctured lung and that dread of like, all right, I gotta try, but my body might fucking seize up right here,
I think there's something to be said about how this doesn't feel as like, of course it's scripted, right? Because it's a fucking book.
Yeah.
But in comparison to something like Curse of Strahd, Curse of Strahd had big elements of like, you need to go to this town. Yeah. You need to talk to these NPCs. And if you don't, bad things happen. Right. Like everything kind of already has like a pre-written kind of feel to it. But with Rime of the Frostmaiden so far has felt as cringe as it might sound, it feels very organic.
Yeah.
Where it feels like there is like we are kind of in control of the narrative because we get to pick where we want to go.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's what it feels like to me.
Yeah. And I think the beginning of Rime of the Frostmaiden, I'd say the first half of the campaign, I'm willing to go out and say almost feels very much like Well, maybe it's not the first half of the campaign. I guess technically it's like the first, like, trying to do the math in my head. Like the first 40% of the campaign is very open. Like it's very much like do X amount of activities, get level up. And then from there it becomes like, okay, and then this happens, and then you're kind of you're kind of on the rails at that point, you know, a little bit on the rails, I suppose. So yeah, we'll see it's coming up. But yeah, I also have been kind of feeling that it's gonna be just gonna be very, very good.
I'm very interested about how we like, because I know obviously the name is in the fucking book, right? Like the Frost Maiden. I'm very curious when our characters get introduced to the concept of like fighting her.
Yeah.
Because right now, if we did that, it would almost feel like we were instigating. Like, because right now, as much as the 10 towns kind of feel backwatery and fucked up, they do have a society right now. They do have culture and everything like that. And I feel like if we rolled in and we were like, the human sacrifices will stop as I adjust my fucking conquistador helmet, it would kind of, you know, people would kind of be like, get the fuck out of my town. I'm not helping you.
Yeah. And you're learning from that. Yeah.
I'm very interested to see how it turns to us like destroying the Frost Maiden.
Yeah.
If ever, right?
Yeah. Well, Crown, I do have some great news for you. I know you're super excited about this. The first Eberron book is coming out.
Give a fuck, man.
And it kind of really isn't an Eberron book. It is.
What does that mean?
It is an Artificer book.
An Artificer book?
Yeah, I don't know what I feel. I actually kind of want your opinion on this. So, this was recently announced. The release date's August 19th. It's called Eberron: Forge of the Artificer. It's advertised as a rules expansion. And the physical copy is going to be $30. The digital copy is going to be $20.
Huh. Okay.
Okay. Its main advertisement: play as the Artificer, the ultimate creative class. You're not just an inventor or spellcaster, you're an innovator, a bold, hardened visionary, fusing together magic and technology to craft extraordinary creations. The book states that it is it's the Artificer, 4 revised Artificer subclasses, and 1 new subclass, the Cartographer. They're adding 5 revised species, 17 backgrounds, 28 feats, new spells, bastion, and magic items, which are kind of funny because when you look down at the stats, it says only 1 spell has been added in the book. So I don't know if that actually is
very cool,
accurate or not. Yeah. 3 distinct genre building campaign templates for building fantasy noir, political thriller, or pulp adventure campaigns in the world of Eberron, and over 20 new monsters, each inspired by a campaign model. So essentially, it is advertising itself as the Artificer book. And so I almost feel like WotC is, because they know how popular Artificer is, they're trying to sell you the 2024 version of the Artificer for like $30. Is that what that feels like to you?
That would explain why they haven't put out the 2024 version of the Artificer yet.
Mm-hmm.
Aside from like the UA, it makes sense that they're like, yeah, we're just gonna. Why would I give you that when I can just sell it to you? Yeah. Like, that's what that feels like. That feels very. Maybe I'm looking too deep, but
I'm kind of there with you.
Why would you put it in? Why would you put it there? Did the original Artificer come from Eberron?
Yes. Artificer was originally an Eberron class in 3E.
Okay, so this is a 3E class then.
Yes. So Artificer was always Eberron coded.
Okay, I mean,
which I know is like kind of a surprise to you because you're not a big fan of Eberron, but like,
Correct.
but I mean, that means they did a really good job to like not make it feel like an Eberron class, to make it feel like it's an Inventor class.
Yeah.
So, and there apparently is going to be some more love for the Artificer because the recent UA was all about horror subclasses. So like all like the
there's like an
subclasses.
undead Artificer subclass.
Yeah, like a Frankenstein Artificer now. So I haven't
read
something
that people were talking about in my Discord. They were like, "Oh, isn't that super cool?" And I was like, "I don't know."
You're like 5e icky yuck. I thought about it a little bit. Yeah, so so I mean, I don't think the only new class I saw with that is the Reanimator Artificer, which I personally am glad they're giving some subclass love to the Artificer, and they're adding more subclasses and yada yada yada. They also added the Hexblade, which I don't know how Momo's gonna feel about that. Because I'm hearing
very interesting.
Well, they had to like change it up a bit, and so I don't know, man. Like for me, I personally am on the side of like subclasses are kind of to begin with. Like they all kind of do like the same thing almost.
They're all very homogenized, yes.
Yeah. And then you're just kind of like changing like a different theme. It's why in IO5E, I really want to do like the specialization where at level 5, you kind of choose the path you want your class to go, you know, which I think brings new exciting story elements to the game. So yeah, subclasses just never really felt like, you know, like, it just feels like whatever.
The issue with Warlock specifically is that Warlock has kind of always had
level 1
a burden on them, in so much as, guess what? Your greatest damaging ability is a cantrip. Yeah. And if you don't take Agonizing Blast, you're a dog shit Warlock.
You're a terrible Warlock. Yeah.
You are literally shooting yourself in the foot.
Yeah.
Maybe you're like, oh, I don't need it. I can pick some other really cool stuff. Yeah, man. Repulsing spear, all that stuff, super cool. Very neat. Means nothing when you roll a 1 on the damage.
Yep. But also at the same time, like Agonizing Blast for Warlock is inherently like obviously broken is a bit of an extreme term, right? But essentially, like it is damage from a damaging perspective, right? It is a very powerful ability. And the reason why is because of a cantrip that as you level up, the damage doesn't increase. The number of times you can attack with it does. So when you've got Agonizing Blast to Eldritch Blast, and it's like you get to the difference between adding +5 to Eldritch Blast and +5 to Firebolt, if you're like an evocation wizard, right? The difference is at level 20, that +5, if everything hits, becomes a +20 damage. Because you've got 4 attacks with Eldritch Blast. And if you hit with all of them, that's a +5 on each one. Making that so Eldritch Blast, like right off the bat, is a super powerful cantrip. It always has been. Add Agonizing Blast to that, and you're off to the fucking races, dude. Like you're doing so much damage with a cantrip. And then wizards are over here being like, oh damn, my Firebolt does only 3d10 +5 damage. But that's okay because they gave up on level 8 and 9. So I'm just going to go ahead and create my own reality and say fuck it to whatever you want to do.
Correct.
Oh,
I remember I had a player specifically that was playing a Warlock, and they're like, I don't want to take Agonizing Blast. It feels like it's the only thing I can take. So I'm going to take everything else.
Feels mandatory.
I'm going to take all the other stuff to do what I can to like feel like it's me and I'm not every other Warlock. And they struggled to keep up and really do anything meaningful because, once you get to a high enough level, creatures just go, I resist that ability, or I'm immune to that ability. You attempt to charm me, I'm immune to charm because I'm a level, whatever creature. So I'm immune to charm. Your effect has, you do nothing to me. And it's like, they kind of look around and they look at the fighter who's, consistently pumping out damage. They look at the wizard who's consistently pumping out damage, and they go, "Oh, I'm useless. Like I literally have no role in the party right now."
Mm-hmm.
And I eventually had to give them a freebie in an ability that gave them, like, because they were serving their patrons so well. I was like, fuck it. Yeah, he gives you agonizing blast for free.
Yeah.
Like, so if nothing else, you at least have something else to rely on.
And that sucks that you had to do that, right?
Yes.
Like that just fucking blows that you had to do a thing. A thing that he didn't want in the beginning to begin with,
Correct.
And then found out that he was punished for that is
correct.
Yeah, that's bad. That's not great.
Kind of stinky.
That is super stinky. So yeah, I fucking get it. But like, for example, okay, so the Hexblade, right? I don't know if we're seeing anything really custom with the new Hexblade that they're pitching. So, for example, they get what fucking Rangers get in 2024, where now you can cast Hex without expending a spell slot a number of times equal to your Charisma modifier. So it's the Hunter's Mark, where you get a number of times where you can cast Hunter's Mark for free. They're like, well, now as a Hexblade, you can do that with Hex. And Hex is essentially reskinned Hunter's Mark. Just flat out. That's just what it is. So
okay. That kind of sucks. Do you still get like hit points when you kill the guy, or?
Yeah, you get draining. So you get Hexblade maneuvers. So once per turn, when you hit a target cursed by a hex, you get with an attack roll. You can choose one of these additional effects. You can choose Draining Slash. The target makes a Constitution saving throw against the spell save. On a failed attack, the target can't make opportunity attacks, and its speed is halved. So whatever. Harrowing Attack. The target makes a Wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the next time the target makes an attack roll against a creature other than you, the target takes necrotic damage equal to your Charisma modifier. Again, you've seen this before.
Yes.
Stymian Mark. The target has disadvantage on the next saving throw it makes before the start of your. You've seen all of this before. At level 6, you do get Lifestealer. Whenever the target cursed by Hex drops 0 hit points, you regain 1d8 hit points. Plus your Charisma modifier. Once per turn, if you make an attack roll against the target cursed by your Hex and miss, you still deal necrotic damage to that creature equal to your Charisma modifier. You've seen this before. You've seen all of this before. You know what I mean? These are just reskinned abilities from different subclasses. Armor of Hexes, or when you take damage from a cursed target from your Hex, you can take a reaction to reduce the damage taken by an amount equal to 2d8 plus your Charisma modifier. You've seen this before. You've seen this before. You can use this feature number of time equal to your Charisma modifier. And then Masterful Hex, whenever any attack roll made against a target cursed by your Hex scores a critical hit on a 19 instead of just 20. You've seen this before. It's like Champion. I'm looking at the Champion Fire now. Infectious Hex. When you use one of your Hexblade maneuvers, you can target one additional creature within 30 feet of the cursed target. The additional target takes 1d6 necrotic damage. So it's just you're just dealing damage to them. And the Resilient Hex, taking damage can't break your concentration on Hex. So now it's just concentration-free Hex, which I'm glad they added that. They should have added that for Ranger. But that's the Hexblade now. That's all the Hexblade is. It's just like, okay.
You know what's crazy?
What's crazy?
You know what's crazy? Is I'm listening to you talk about this, and I know that there are people out there like lamenting right now. Starfinder 2 came out. 2E.
Yay.
So like I'm over here like I've heard a lot of the D&D players in my Discord kind of like lamenting about some of the changes and stuff.
Yeah.
And then there's the other half, which are like the Pathfinder players who are like, Starfinder 2E's out. Let's fucking go.
That's great.
They're having a great time. The book is it's amazing.
Yeah.
There's no complaints or anything like that. So it's just kind of, it's like
very
telling.
On
right
one
now,
side of the hill, you're kind of like, whatever. And then the other side of the hill, you've got, let's fucking go, Pathfinder. Woo! Starfinder, woo!
Like it's a lot of that, and I'm like, damn, it's very interesting to see both sides of this. Like this.
I mean, why do you think I'm making IO5Es? Because D&D is not exciting to me anymore. You know, I want to be excited about a system again, and I feel like the only way I'm going to do that is going to just make my own thing.
Nice.
Yes, I do want to add the note that this is the UA. Things can change. I will note this, okay, about defenders of of that. And first of all, I'm a big fan of people playtesting their shit, and the UA does that masterfully. It introduces a bunch of cool new ideas. Some stick, some don't. You get to get feedback, and if the feedback's bad, you go back to the drawing board, right? Some of the things I saw in 2024 D&D's UAs were people essentially going, this is what they're pitching. This is going to be a trash system. I'm no longer playing this. And I remember, you know, this isn't my unhinged comment, by the way, which, by the way, YouTube, if we get 6 more super chats, I've got an unhinged commenter story for you. But this was pretty unhinged, which was, someone's like, no, this is going to suck. I'm not going to play this. And I said, it's the UA. This is the play test. This is the feedback stage. This is the feedback you want to give. And their defense was, well, if this is just what they're pitching, then if this is where their head's at, then it's just going to be garbage and I'm just going to abandon it immediately. And I'm like, that is so unfair for playtesting and theory crafting when you look at something that's meant to be sort of like here's what I'm thinking of. That's so not constructive when you're like, well, this is what you're thinking of, then I'm not going to even wait to the end.
I hate it. And it's like, oh, chill, man.
Well, to me, that just kind of feels like, you know, at that point, just fuck it. You know, like, well, you're already 1 foot out the door anyways. Just don't, you know, you're out. You know, you've already said you're out. So don't try and like make a lame ass excuse for why you're out. You know what I mean? Just you're out.
Yeah,
it's totally fine. But one of the things I was gonna say is, D&D came out with a year or two ago Spelljammer, and it was very underwhelming and forgotten. So one thing
I completely forgot that they put out Spelljammer.
I
forgot they put out Spelljammer.
It was just a bland fucking book. So with that, it very much was just like, what is the best way to describe it? When people are talking about Starfinder, I'm not in any Pathfinder community, but I've heard Starfinder being brought up very frequently. You know what I mean? And because of that, because of how frequently it has happened, you know, and now hearing that it's finally out and people are super excited about it, like, man, I miss that. I miss that out of a TTRPG system. You know what I mean? I miss people. I miss being excited about something. And D&D just does not excite me. D&D 2024 doesn't excite me. Hell, even all these UA, their horror themed subclasses, which tells me they're probably going to make another like Ravenloft, like another like Ravenloft book or whatever. You know what I mean? Because it's their most popular series of books, right? I could totally just see that. I could totally just see that's what's coming out, which is why we're seeing like horror themed subclasses, you know, that there's probably going to be
some basically priming it up, getting it ready.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So I do see that's what's going to happen. So, and I mean, if it does, whatever, it's fine. But like, you can definitely tell D&D is in the mode of like, what can we do to make money? We're going to make products that make money. There's no more passion. You know, it's just be like, what
will the people buy?
Yeah, what will grab the people's attention the most? Which I get, but it just feels very obvious now, especially now they're like, oh, you want the Artificer? Well, get this $30 Artificer book.
Correct.
You know, with the new Artificer and new species.
How much do you really love it?
Yeah, and we're just rebranding everything. So when I see the horror subclasses, and again, this is obviously just me theory crafting and tinfoil hatting and all that shit. Like, for me, that looks to me like they're prepping another like Ravenloft, another Strahd, another book like that. You know what I mean? Because
What if they dropped a remastered Curse of Strahd?
I'd believe it. I'd believe it 100%. I would absolutely believe it.
It'd be very interesting to see.
Yeah, I mean, I could totally see them just. It would be a quick buck. It'd be like Curse of Strahd remastered for the 2024 D&D system. I mean, that's essentially what we're doing. We're just rebranding. We're just remaking everything again 10 years later, and just reselling the same package. I mean, that has been the business model in all the things that are out there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's just been the entire business model for everything, which is just like, yeah, just re-release it again with the fresh coat of paint. And people will be like, I'm going for it.
Put it out for the people. Let them eat.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just what it just is what it is. So we'll end up seeing what ends up happening there. Okay. And so we've got that. That's essentially what's going on in the world of D&D. Now, nothing really exciting. I'm really glad the Starfinder people seem to be having a good time.
I just got my hands on the book. I'm very excited to read it.
Oh yeah,
because I've been wanting to run a fucking sci-fi game for a while.
Forever.
Yeah, I love sci-fi so much. Like, I love fantasy. It's twofold. I love putting fantasy characters in a sci-fi setting, and I love putting sci-fi characters in a fantasy setting.
I agree.
My setting is very big on like ancient technology. Technology's so perfect, it's lasted centuries type shit.
Right.
Still runs. And it's great to see a player walk in and like they recognize a computer that their player doesn't. That the character doesn't. I'm real big on that. So I'm super excited to run Starfinder.
The future is the past, and the past is the future again. Oh yeah. So yeah, but as mentioned, that's the world of D&D. Support IO5E. Our session 0 for Devil's Due is going to be an IO5E game. Is going to be Monday. I'm very excited for that.
I'm gonna be playing a Disciple, and I've been working on my voice all week.
Yeah, I'm gonna be working on Disciple and Invocator tomorrow, and with like the spells and stuff like that, because I've got some good ideas for spells. I think you're gonna be down for. I kind of there is no bless spell anymore. It's all broken down into weapon blessings, damage blessings, and armor blessings. So like the fact that you're able to like craft your blessings now is gonna be really fucking cool. Where you're gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do this, and then it's just essentially like a condition that doesn't stack. So you kind of choose like what you want on each slot. So I think there's gonna be like a lot of cool variety and stuff. And I've been dropping you the I know you were excited about
you dropped it to me today.
Yeah, no, you were excited about the monster level stat blocks that I was. Did you notice the movement speed?
Yes, broken down into squares.
Yeah,
big fan of that.
Fucking,
I liked all the abilities that the funky little guys had. I thought that was super cool.
Yeah, and then they all had everything's just a little funky, you know, which I'm pretty stoked for. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see where it goes. I'm having high faith. The blood letter is going to be really fun. I'm adding reaction abilities to every class, essentially. So that's going to be really cool. Also, I made it so that casters get a favorite spell at first level that they can cast 3 times per day without expending a spell slot.
Oh.
Yeah. Do you want to know the big twist on that?
Sick.
Yeah, it gets better. Whenever you roll initiative for a new encounter, you regain one of those charges back. Kind of lets you burn a little bit, you know, not be afraid to burn your resources.
I do like that. I do like not being afraid to use my resources.
Where you kind of like set the passive, you know,
correct.
The passive move of like, okay, we go into an encounter, I could use a spell once, you know, because the next encounter I'll just regain that back. And then you also choose a favorite spell from there. So yeah, it's just gonna be wonderful. And you can do things like, you know, and I'm expecting like the healer to make their favorite spell like a healing spell, you know, so that way they're constantly keeping people up, and that's fine.
That's me.
Yeah,
that's me.
And I mean, we've got that. There is a spell. There's an AOE healing spell I made at level 1. There's gonna be like a bunch of new spell. Oh, I gotta tell you about a cantrip. I think you might take. Okay.
Interesting.
Essentially, it's called like starlight or sunlight. I haven't decided yet.
Should
But
be sunlight.
a creature, yeah, probably sunlight. Yeah, a creature in range of this spell. I think it's gonna be like 60 feet. I have to check all the math for it. Takes 3 points of radiant damage.
Nice. A little moonbeam energy.
Yeah, but that's the description of the spell. A creature in range takes 3 points of radiant damage.
I like that. Is it any creature?
Any creature.
Okay, so I don't drop that on friendlies.
Yeah. And but do you see the key point of it though?
The key point of it.
Yeah. It doesn't have a range.
I don't.
It doesn't have a range attack.
It
It doesn't have a saving throw. It's just
you just exist.
Yes.
My.
As an action, a cantrip, you go 3 points of damage. Pew! Like a little missile.
I like that.
Yeah.
Just a little guaranteed.
Yep. Just a little flash of the hands.
Now, how have you done scaling and the like?
Oh, what are you talking like cantrip scaling?
Is there cantrip scaling
Yeah.
in IO5e?
Right now there is, yes.
Okay.
Unless something better.
What does
comes
that
along.
look like?
It's the same.
Okay, so at level 5, my damage and shit goes up.
Yep, it'll go up to 6 damage.
Okay.
And so, which means at level 17, as a cantrip, you're just going 12 damage. If you want like an instant.
Very well.
But that it is an action, essentially. It is absolutely an action.
Okay.
So,
all right.
So it'll be.
I can fuck with that.
It'll be very good. It'll be very good. But yeah, I got to work on the spells. I got to break all it up. The new blessings are going to be super fun because you're going to actually have options of like, how do I want to? Because right now in 5e, it's essentially, I'm going to buff you now with
Correct.
bless. But now you kind of get to choose like, well, how do I want to buff you?
Are you friend or foe?
Exactly. It's kind of see where all that's going.
I
over
fuck
there.
with that.
Yeah,
I fuck with that.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. We're gonna see what the outcome is. I'm very excited. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm also very excited to see what you're gonna make. And,
Same.
I am expecting favoritism. I'm just saying.
Please explain.
I'm expecting to open the Disciple book, the PDF that you're going to be sending to me, and I expect to see Crown DM just do what you want, and it will happen. And I go, amazing.
Jeez,
that's what I'm expecting to see.
Well, keep your fingers crossed. We'll
thanks, man. Nice. That's not a no. That's not a no, by the way.
Let's see what's going on. We'll see what happens.
Nice.
Hey, Crown.
What's up, handsome?
Are you the asshole?
I can be in the right company.
Yeah. How you feeling right now? Are you feeling like your asshole detectors on the go? Ready to go?
Am I able to suss out an asshole?
Would
Is
you
that what
be
you're
able?
asking
Yeah.
me?
Do you feel like you're able to suss out an asshole?
Well, I can certainly try.
Well, let's go ahead and do that with our "Am I the Asshole" segment. We had a lot of fun with this last week, so we're going to have some fun with it this week. Here we go. I've got just like last week. I'm going to tell you 2 stories. And this is all from the Reddit. Am I the Asshole? I will tell you a story that has been ranked by this Reddit as not an asshole. I will also tell you a story that is ranked asshole. I will not tell you what the rankings are. And after I read both stories to you, I will have you decide which of these is
give
more
my
asshole-ish
verdict.
than the other. Exactly.
Nice.
This was fun before. I'm going to have fun with this again. So let's.
I'm excited. The stories were good last time.
Oh yeah, they were, and you did get it right last time. So, am I the asshole for not letting my neighbor's kid ruin my lawn in the name of imagination?
Oh, this is good.
Yes.
Nice. Okay, I'm ready.
All right. I live in a quiet suburban neighborhood with your standard backyard, some grass, a few old trees, a weathered sled. Nothing fancy, but I try to keep it tidy. I'm on polite but not close terms with most neighbors. We wave sometimes, chat about the weather, and that's about it. There's a family 2 doors down with a boy who's maybe 9 or 10. Lately, he's gone full pirate mode. I mean, fully committed. Eye patch, cardboard sword, yelling, "Ye be cursed" at squirrels. Honestly, pretty wholesome. At first.
At first.
Mm-hmm. Then I started noticing small holes in my yard, just little ones near the fence. I assume it was raccoons.
Oh, this fucker's digging for treasure.
But then the holes got bigger. One morning, I went out and found the ground behind my shed completely torn up with clumps of grass tossed around and a map pinned to the tree with a stick. Eventually, I caught him out there mid-dig. I asked him what he was doing, and he straight up said, "I'm hiding my treasure. No one must know."
Hiding it.
This is the perfect hiding spot. I told him calmly, "Hey, this is my yard. You can't dig here." He got a little huffy, but ran off. I figured that was the end of it. Nope. Next day, there's a new hole, bigger. A tin lunchbox half buried behind the shed. I dig it up, and it's full of Pokemon cards, fake jewels, toy coins, and a few crumpled $5 bills. I bring it to his mom and explain what's going on. She immediately gets defensive. No apology, just a heavy sigh and a, well, he's just using his imagination. I think it's sweet. I told her I didn't mind the creativity, just not in my yard. She rolled her eyes and said, "Can't you just let him have this? It's not like your grass is that nice anyways."
Oh, bitch.
That one actually stunned me. I said as politely as possible that I didn't want holes being dug on my property by someone else's kid. I handed over the box and left. That night, she sends a really long text telling me I humiliated her son, crushed his imagination, and created an environment where children can't feel safe being children. She said he cried for over an hour and now thinks I'm the villain in his story. Her words. I didn't reply. I get it, he's a kid. I didn't yell, I didn't shame him, and I even gave the stuff back. But I'm not thrilled about my yard being turned into a sandbox and getting insulted for not being okay with it. So, am I the asshole for drawing a line and not entertaining a pirate storyline that involved my yard getting wrecked?
So I'm pretty sure Reddit hates children. So I could tell already
Did
that there
you
are probably
say that
a lot
last
of
week too?
Did I?
Yeah. About the kid's diaper not being changed or whatever.
Yeah.
You're like,
well, it's true, right? Like,
so Reddit hates children.
it's not like a question mark. Like,
Yeah.
I'm fairly certain it's like they just greatly dislike children.
Yeah.
So it's I can see it being kind of split here. I can see people being like, "Come on, man, it's just a yard.
Mhm.
Like, you let the kid have his imagination, blah blah blah." And I can see other ones being like, "Fuck that kid." Like,
Yep.
also fuck that mom
Yep.
for basically being because that mom gives me energy of somebody who has never been told no before.
Yeah.
So I'm going to vote not the asshole.
Okay. Well, we'll see if you keep that vote after this next
Oh, this one's
story.
gonna be great. I kicked a kid with cancer down the stairs. Am I the asshole?
And it's also, it just literally just says, not the asshole. Because Reddit hates children. Oh, no. I just saw the title.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
Am I the asshole for reminding my friend he makes 8 times more than me?
Oh,
You got flashbanged a little bit.
interesting. Interesting.
You got flashbanged a little bit.
Dude,
with that.
I'm already envisioning either this is a friend who is bragging non-fucking stop and being like, "Oh yeah, money's no issue for I just get whatever I want," or it's gonna be somebody who's like seething that their friend makes more money than them. I'm very interested.
I like that. I like that we've got multiple avenues. So okay. Background: my job doesn't pay the best, but I love the work. I obviously would like to be paid more. I was listening near to my friend a few years ago when he was looking for jobs. I heard him list all the pros and cons of each option, including the salary. So I know what his starting pay was at the one he settled on. It is literally 8 times more than my annual salary. So he sussed out the salary.
Okay.
Our friendship is not influenced at all by our salary differences. We always split the spill. Never.
Okay, I made a mental note of how much money he makes, and you're telling me the salary doesn't influence the friendship?
That's the background information. We always.
But you made a mental note. You made a mental note that your friend makes 8 times more than you. That's kind of kind of suspicious.
Now that you're saying that, and he's going into we always split the spill, I'm feeling like you might be onto something. Our friendship is not influenced at all by our salary differences. We always split the spill. You know, he says this while having a thread titled, "Am I the asshole for reminding my friend he makes?"
Yeah.
Because when are you ever going to do that?
Because again, I think only if your friend is like humble bragging.
Yeah.
If your friend is like, I just got a new Lamborghini, all this shit, then you could be like, yeah, man, I know you're gonna do that. You make 8 times more than me.
Maybe.
But
You're right.
I think what's gonna happen is his friend is gonna ask him for a favor or to cover a bill. And he's like, I don't have that kind of money, dude. You make more than I do. I think that's what's gonna happen.
All right. Especially considering the fact that his friend never told them the salary. He sussed the salary out.
He sussed it out and then made a mental note of it.
I think we might be onto something literally.
I think this guy might be the asshole.
Yes, we always split the spill, never pay for each other except birthdays, all of which has worked well. I even house sit. He has a cat for him for free when he's away. Now that he's settled into his job, a job he will probably have till retirement. Just digging in on that job.
You sound a little upset at that fact.
He has been complaining about it to me more and more. I listen, but I can't say I completely sympathize, mainly because I know I would happily deal with those problems if I got paid like him. He definitely is aware of how little I get paid because he has tried to help. He definitely is aware of how little I get paid because he's definitely tried to help me look for new jobs, and I've commented on if the job's paid more or less than my current salary. We do not work in the same fields. The incident.
Oh.
When we were hanging out, we discussed about wanting to go to this particular thing on a weekday/workday. I brought up how my job is pretty flexible and I could be available after a certain time. He says, wow, you are so lucky, I could never. Then we kept discussing this thing, and he kept reiterating how lucky I was and how it sucks he can't. I eventually got annoyed and said, dude, you literally make 8 times more than me. Would you say to an unemployed person, you are so lucky to have free time?
You've been wanting to throw that out since you sussed out this fucking guy's like paycheck. You have been wanting to throw it in his face that he makes more money than you.
After that,
damn, dude, that's got to be miserable. Go on.
After that, things got awkward, and he hasn't been messaging me. Am I the asshole for reminding him of that?
Yes, dude. What the fuck? Absolutely. He's trying to be like, hey, man. I'm sorry that you have to like deal with. I wish I could do. Like, he's trying to basically connect with you. Like, damn, dude, jobs suck. I wish I had free time.
Right. Yep.
Damn, man, you're an asshole.
Okay. Are those your final answers?
Yeah, those are my final answers.
Once again, you are correct, Crown. The am I the asshole for not letting my neighbor's kid ruin my lawn in the name of imagination? Ranked not the asshole. Thank
you.
The top comment says, not the asshole. His mom needs to teach him to respect others' property. You don't go to do whatever the hell you want as a kid in the name of using your imagination. Maybe he should use his imagination to pretend that he buried his treasure in your yard while actually leaving it intact. I think that would be a more constructive use of it. His mom is on the hook for teaching her kid to channel his creative impulses into productive endeavors, not destructive ones. When he grows up unable to properly establish relationships, he'll realize that his problems stem from the fact that he was never taught to respect others. When that time,
let's not get ahead of ourselves, dude. He's like a child. Okay,
when that time comes, he'll see that his mom is the actual villain in his story.
Okay, man. Let's
we are on Reddit.
Just a little. You don't need to psychoanalyze the child. All right.
Yeah, we are on Reddit. They hate children, and psychoanalysis is the name of the game.
Like, yeah, man, the mom is, you could call the mom an asshole, but like, let's give the kid is like fucking probably like 6 or something.
You're
like,
crafting a monster.
Yeah, they're gonna get an opportunity to realize long before they grow up what they did. Okay.
The top comment for the one you voted asshole. Am I the asshole for reminding my friend he makes 8 times more than me? The top comment is, Soft, you're the asshole because you are not unemployed. Just because he makes a lot of money does not mean he is happy. You are a little jealous of his salary, and he's a little jealous of your happiness and free time. That is natural. He was calling you lucky, and you acted extremely offended. Why not just say, yes, that is one of the perks of the job. The job I love. Rather than snap at him and compare yourself to someone unemployed. Your response said, you don't have any right to complain, you are loaded. That is a salary difference influencing your friendship. Once again, we are psychoanalyzing. It's crazy, man.
I'm fully of the belief that motherfucker never let that go.
Mhm.
Like, was like, oh, you're getting this job?
You think
Wait,
so?
and like looked up their salaries.
You think so?
You don't suss out a salary, dog. You went and looked that shit up.
Well, Crowned.
How much is this guy making?
Crowned. I'm glad you're invested in this story, because I actually stopped at the am I the asshole for reminding him of that? And the reason why I stopped at that is because he has included 3 edits to after he made his post. Which usually
please defend yourself.
Yes,
please defend yourself.
Which usually implies, hey, I'm being called an asshole right now.
Hey, I need to provide context so you know I'm not the asshole.
So
because I already know I'm the asshole.
So I don't include that in the initial judgment because it immediately throws in. This guy is clearly trying to defend his actions.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, let's hear this. This is going to be great. I want to hear the 3 edits.
Edit? Okay, so first of all, we could obviously, you guys think I'm the asshole because I haven't clarified the actual amounts. Edit. By 8 times, I mean, if I was making $30,000 a year, he's making $240,000 a year. So he wants to clarify what he meant by that.
Again, you went and looked that up.
Edit 2. My job isn't sunshine and butterflies. People who do exactly what I do have been actively trying to unionize. I just chose to look on the bright side, but there are lots of companies about complaints about my job. Also, it is not as flexible as commenters are perceiving it is. The flexibility comes from my good relationship with the boss, which I had to work super hard to cultivate in the first few years, and coming in on weekends to make up for the work. Guys, I socially hacked my boss.
You had to work?
It took time.
Are you complaining that you had to fucking partake in like corporate politics? the thing that often is the job?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Huh.
So now,
all right, this is great.
Defense 2 is guys, but my job sucks. Okay. Edit 3. Although commenters are asking and assuming, I will not disclose the salary for many reasons. I want the emphasis to be on the disparity. 8 times is a lot. Most people aren't friends with people who make that many times more than them. If I'm on minimum wage, then he is comfortable, and if I'm comfortable, then he is a millionaire.
That is so fucking weird, dude. That's so like strange. That's a very weird way of putting that, by the way.
Essentially, it almost sounds like this guy doesn't like that his friend is making all that money.
He does not. He's like, you should be in the dirt with me.
And I would dare say, not that he doesn't like that he makes more than that. He doesn't like him specifically because of that. Like, he doesn't like this person because he's making more than him. Like
I don't really think he's your friend, dude.
I don't. Yeah. I think this is someone you looked at as a friend or wanted to be your friend, and now you're just like, you know,
this is somebody you've turned into a rival who does not view you as a rival.
You're a different. You're in a different class right now, so I'm not going to be friends with you. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's super sussy.
Well, and then because that edit 3 sounds so fucking weird. Again, 8 times a lot. Most people aren't friends with people who make that many times more than them, which is like,
that's a really weird way of putting that. By the way, yeah, like you're not. You can't be friends with rich people. You're poor. Like
yeah, who thinks like that? Holy shit.
That is really fucking odd. It's really odd.
Oh my god. Well, those were some interesting fucking stories, Crown. Those were interesting.
I agree. I love psychoanalyzing people.
Yeah. Fucking love it, man. Did I post my thoughts on Reddit is it .com? Is it Reddit.com?
I don't know, man.
I don't go on Reddit.
I think the last time I used Reddit was during COVID, and that's because I had nothing to do at work.
Hey, Crowned.
What?
I want to thank our YouTube audience of the Dumpster Delvers. They have given us generously 10 super chats valuing at least $5.
My goodness.
We met our super chat goal, which means I got a story to tell.
Hell yeah.
I've got a story to tell. Am I the asshole? I've got a story to tell of one of the earliest times early in my streaming life of an unhinged commenter.
Was this D&D or was this Pokemon?
I wasn't even a partner yet, and I was getting away from Pokemon. I just started variety streaming to like 30, 40 concurrent. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So it was, this was just like when I was just starting or really starting to take streaming seriously. Cause I also came from YouTube. So, I'm playing Stardew Valley. I'm having a good time.
Lovely game. Love that game.
You know me. I say fucking shit sometimes. We're all adults. You all know I say fucking shit sometimes. I had a chatter say, "Hey, can you please not swear as much? I'm watching this with my kid."
Okay. That's a little parasocial. Okay.
Yeah. Hey, I'm watching this with my kid right now. Can you please not swear as much? In which I told them, fuck no. No, I told him, hey, well, listen, I curse. So no, I'm not going to just stop. I said that, I said, hey, I curse. No, I'm not going to stop. You may not just want to watch this with your kid. They followed up with, well, since I make your salary, like I'm here making your living, maybe you should consider not swear as much.
Nice. You're a public servant. And I pay your salary.
And again, this is someone that just was like the first time I saw their name, they clearly didn't know how Twitch worked. They weren't a subscriber. They weren't a donator. They weren't anything like that.
Oh, they're like, because I watch you, that's more than enough.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I own you.
So they're like, hey, well, considering the fact that I'm right now helping you make your living, why don't we shrink down the cursing, And I told them, hey, why don't you go fuck off and get your fucking kid off the computer, because I'm not going to be responsible for your shitty parenting.
Nice.
So, Reddit, am I the asshole for talking this guy off?
It depends. Did you really say like "fuck you" when he first asked, or were you just like, "Hey, man, go watch something else"?
No, I think I was like intending to not be that. I literally was just like, "Hey, no, I'm not going to do that. You know, so maybe go some. It's to kind of give them a chance to like get off the channel and know, hey, I'm not going to do that. You know, I
wear my
curse.
biases very plainly on my sleeve.
Yep.
Not the asshole.
Yeah. Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. So I mean, that
can do no wrong.
It's yeah. So that was my unhinged chat story. They left, and then that was it. But we've definitely had some unhinged commenters, and God, I've got some ban requests that I wish I didn't remove from, because I would have loved to do like,
oh, that'd have been great.
Some goals of like
to
unban
read,
requests.
like, yeah.
No, I'm starting to build them up now. I'm starting to
Nice.
to build them up. So, you know, if you're gonna be an asshole, well, I'm gonna I'll make content out of you, I guess.
I will monetize you.
I will make money off of it. I tell you what.
Nice.
All right. Well, Crown, that's a cast. That is a podcast.
Yes, sir.
I thank you so much once again. Thank you to the audience. Really do appreciate that. Wanted to give a shout out to our super chatters, our Patreon members. And normally I don't do this because it's on my channel, but to Sizzle Pop Rocker for their 20 gifted subs. Thank you very much for your generosity. Really do appreciate that big group of subs. But I also want to thank our lovely litter bugs over in the Patreon. Man, oh man. Really do appreciate all you do. I made a mistake, Crowned, in one of the videos. And I ate that pepper like it was nothing.
Oh.
And now
they're like, again.
No, now they're like, if you get to 50, $10 plus members, Brett needs to eat a spicier pepper. They want blood, dude. They want blood.
What did you do? What did you do?
Because I ate a pepper and wasn't fazed by it.
You psycho.
Yeah.
What have you done?
Because of that, they were like, he needs to eat. So they want you to eat the other pepper like normal, but they want me to eat a spicier pepper.
All right. Well, I mean, as long as it's you suffering,
it will be me suffering. Well, also, I haven't been. I'm no longer honed. I'm no longer honed with the hot pepper. So it might.
It's been like 2 weeks since I ate it.
Yeah.
Last.
So maybe it will be. Then I'll be like, oh my god, it's so freaking hot, dude. Nice. So yeah, we'll see.
I believe it.
Yeah. So thank you to everyone who's joined our Patreon. Like I mentioned before, we do have MP3s of all of our sessions. We do an after the session, like after the podcast.
We hang out. We kind of like chit chat.
Yeah, it's more relaxed because we're kind of like unwinding at that point in time. For the $10 tier, and then if you get the $20 tier, those are video recorded, and you can actually watch the video recorded show version of it. So once again, thank you so much. And we do have our Grandma's Garage Sale. Extra shout out to Grandma's Garage Sale. Oh my gosh. Wonderful, wonderful individuals. And by being a member of Grandma's Garage Sale, you get specialized shout outs. Like this.
Like right now.
Shout out to Burning Jackal. They wanted to let us know that they busted their shoulder earlier this week, and so they get pleasure out of enjoying the podcast while in bed high on pain meds. P.S. More folks need to join the Patreon. We need more leverage to make Brett eat even a hotter pepper. See? I'm telling you.
God.
I'm
Dude,
telling
you
you.
fucked up. I fucked up. You fucked up big time.
I fucked up.
They watched you eat that and they were like, "Oh, is that the case?"
I absolutely.
My Schadenfreude knows no end.
I absolutely fucked up. Ballo Mossback, once again, thank you so much for joining and being a member of the Grandma's Garage Sale. They said that they are currently hunting for a place to call home, so time may be short before they are off the garage sale. It won't stop them from enjoying the podcast. Hey. Absolutely.
I wish you all the best, brother.
Yes, absolutely. Especially while you're looking for a new house. And hey, if you have, if ever, and then we're not just talking about garage sale, we're talking about anyone in our Dumpster Delvers Patreon. If you can't afford it, like, do not take any hard.
Correct.
No, there are no hard feelings whatsoever.
Correct.
Take care of yourself first. We appreciate the support, but not at the risk of your well-being. So make sure you're looking.
I always try to tell people, if you donate when you are like fully capable to do, like once you have taken care of yourself, then and only then should you even consider it. No, make it a guarantee. Go, go fucking buy your grandma like an actual purse or something like that. Like,
yeah.
Then you can come give us like $5.
Yeah. So make sure you guys are taking care of yourself first.
Correct.
And then, oh my God, I'm so excited to announce that. Well, I'm sad to let you know, Crown, that Hannah Banana from last week is no longer in the garage sale, but now we have dog caretaker Steve, who seems to have taken their place.
I am Steve.
What was it? Discord drop? Not Discord. No. Google Docky. Google Docky.
Yeah, Google Docky.
God, that the word. I feel so fucking bad for loving that. Dog caretaker Steve, after getting bit so many times, I'm considering changing careers from dogs to trees. Compared to dogs, trees are only half as hard to care for, all bark and no bite.
Oh my fucking God.
Well, dog caretaker Steve, unfortunately, we've decided you will not be part of the garage sale next week.
Holy I hope you get bit by a tree.
Yeah, I hope. You know what? Yeah, same. Absolutely.
How dare you? All that setup for that?
Boo. Fucking boo.
I throw a rock at you. How about that, huh?
All right, guys. Once again, thank you so much for watching, for listening, for being part of the cast. If you are over on our YouTube side, I don't know why it was crunchy for you. The Twitch side seemed to have been okay. But that is okay as well, because we are recording this locally. So when it does come out, it should be in a higher quality.
Nice and crispy.
And also, I'll have a better computer at that point that'll actually be able to handle it,
I can't wait to see how your new computer like helps you.
Yeah, well, I mean, or helps it back, I just want my computer back, god damn it. So it should be back next Wednesday. And so we should have it for Dumpster Doublers next week. All right.
Hell yeah.
All right, guys, thanks again for watching. We'll see you the next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.